Hi, and welcome back to another AI in 5. As always, I'm your host, Simon Chris. Joining me today is Mark Cameron. Mark's the CEO of AI consultancy Alive, and we're going to be talking about the traits of organizations that are really growing with AI. Hey, Mark, welcome to AI in 5. Thanks for joining us.
Great to be here. Thanks, Simon.
Now, we've only got 5 minutes, so we're going to jump right in. I know a lot of the work that you do is helping organizations that are trying to scale AI. What are you seeing? What's the common threads to those organizations that are leaping ahead versus the ones that are kind of sitting back and watching?
Look, it's really simple. I think it's with mindset. So I think it's either they've got a scarcity mindset or a growth mindset. So the ones on the scarcity side are actually saying, you thinking about AI, how do we use AI to do the same stuff that we've always done, but faster and cheaper? So it's almost like an automation mindset.
Yep.
The ones with a growth mindset are actually saying, how do we take AI and scale it in our organization so we can gain new value, do new things, but achieve the dreams that we've never been able to get close to before?
So that would require organizations to be a little bit ambidextrous, right? Because they need to do a little bit of both. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely going to get productivity and efficiency gains from it, but I think it's coming down to how they set it up and how they think about it. So, like if they're just focusing on the productivity, the efficiency, the KPIs, the operating model, everything they do will be focused on that. And you could actually get, great productivity and efficiency gain outputs for a period of time. But the risk is that people will be incentivized to do more, faster, 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 and potentially your quality can drop off really quickly over time. Whereas if you're thinking about impact and growth and how do we gain, how do we do more, then it's actually how do we allow our people time to really absorb information and ask much deeper questions with AI and produce much greater outcomes to help us actually move faster strategically.
So, and what are you seeing are those differences that help that growth mindset? What are these organizations doing?
Look, so there's data that's come out across Harvard and MIT over the last few months. The ones that always the commonality is really around strategic leadership.
Okay.
So the leaders, rather than thinking about AI as a risk and as an issue and spending getting all the governance in place. Like governance is important, but it shouldn't be a completely separate thing. You don't need whole subcommittees for AI risk and AI ethics. It's just part of your normal governance processes.
Yeah.
And so good governance principles, but go reasonably light touch. That's sort of a commonality. Spending a lot of time articulating what an AI-enabled workplace and workforce looks like and feels like, and then enabling the organization. So change management, helping. So technical skills are okay, but helping people understand and develop the language for what can be achieved with AI. At the moment, it's really hard for people even to have the language for what it could do because it's so new and they can't really think around the corner. So I think
Yeah.
help an organization do that and then give them the skills, the tools, and everything else to be able to achieve that. As a
Yeah,
result,
there's a little bit of that. I don't know what I don't know, right?
yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and it's very different to the way we've consumed technology before as businesses, because normally it's been a couple of leaders identifying a couple of use cases, doing proof of concepts, scaling the ones that work. That's the way we've always engaged with technology vendors and technology previously.
Mm-hmm.
But this is different. This is actually how does every single person in my organization change the way they work? So it's fundamentally cultural. It's not a technology problem, it's a cultural problem.
So are you finding that the organizations that are most successful are the ones where the leaders at the top get it, or that there's some AI champions in kind of the mid layer and they're pushing up and down?
I think you've got to have both. So I think you've got to have AI champions who understand what's possible and technically how to do things and how processes can be improved and can identify use cases. But then I think that the leaders have to have a really clear vision of where they're heading and why and what that means. So they need to start thinking, what does our organization look like when our carbon-based workforce, being people, is outnumbered by our silicon-based workforce, being AI agents, about 5 to 1. Like that's going to change the dynamics of the organization, and they need to prepare for that. It's more of, that's a huge leadership challenge.
Yeah, wow. Well, believe it or not, we're already at time. I feel like this could be a 1 hour discussion, but I'm really interested in your response to this because of the conversation we've just been having. What would be your one key bit of advice for an organization just starting their AI journey? I mean, other than calling you and the team at Alive, what would be your recommendation?
Every single time, I think, do some kind of survey across the organization to assess AI aptitude and attitude. So to assess where they think they are and what their mindset is around AI, because leaders often think that their workforce is going to be afraid and they think they're going to be really nervous. But when you do the survey, almost every time, the vast majority of the workforce is actually pretty excited. They want to have the tools so they can have a greater impact for the firm. And all they want is guidance and direction. So I think
Yeah.
that gives them confidence.
Wow, great advice. I've often said too, mindset, then skill set, then tool set. So yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for being a part of AI in 5. I look forward to chatting soon.
Thanks, Simon. Great to be here.